Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the GamerConnect 20 finale. And with us, we've got two amazing guests. But before we get to that, a big shout out to our sponsors NVIDIA GeForce India, display partner Samsung, gaming storage partner WD Black, colorful GPU partner Colorful, peripheral partner Cooler Master India, game retail partner Games the Shop, and e-racing partner IR Esports. I won't need any introduction, so I'm going to pass on the reins to my fellow podcaster here. Aman, what's up, man? How's it going?
Thanks, Raj. What's up, guys? So we are at the final leg of GamerConnect 2020, and we thought what's better to give you guys than to have like a small chill podcast with streamers, let you guys know what how they think, how they act. So we have two amazing podcasters. Not podcasters, streamers, podcasters. Yeah, technically, your guys are podcasters. One of them is like known as a legend in the gaming scene. In the like the casual hardcore gaming. It's a thing, okay. He has won
Semi-hardcore.
several.
What is a casual hardcore game?
Like it's like not completely hardcore, but
No,
like
no,
casual
completely
hardcore.
hardcore.
Yeah, it's like not top tier, like second. Yeah, yeah, it's like second.
You're
Yeah.
calling him tier. You're calling him second tier,
Yeah,
man.
you
That's
just
this
called
is
me
kind of like roasting him in the
Fire
process.
No, but
Find another
Nikhil SK is one of the best multiplayer gamers out there. He has grinded enough in Rust to call himself that. He's won several League of Legends, PUBG tournaments, and a lot of things. Tournaments over in NVIDIA, over in GamerConnect itself, a long time back, and a lot of things. And then we have XLR, another multiplayer gamer who's played a lot of horror games as well. You guys can Google RIP LOL XLR, or sorry, LOL RIP XLR, and you can see his amazing videos over there. Amazing guys, both of them. And of course, we have our resident like streamer, fashionista, and
Fashionista.
yeah, like and gameplay hardcore gamer. So that's Rats for you guys, and I am chat admin. I'm the guy who is generally in GC chat, telling random stuff about the stream.
The mystery admin.
Yeah, mystery admin.
Infamous mystery
What's
admin.
up, guys? This is the GamerConnect streamer podcast. If you guys like this, we might do something like this in the future. But yeah, welcome. What's up, guys? How are you guys doing?
Good.
I am doing good. Holidays, chilling.
Holiday
Just
chilling. What
grinding,
games these days? I'm
Uh,
guessing you guys play games.
I I'm grinding EFT a lot. Escape from
Yeah.
Tarkov.
Yeah.
I'm playing a lot of Rust. So I get
Again,
both survival games. I
What
think
survival
we
games?
have it similar. Xlar we pretty much grind like a lot of survival. It's just
A lot of
different
survival games. Yeah.
games.
right,
Yep.
right. You guys might know these guys also from the Desync podcast. You guys can check that out. The early videos, okay. The late ones they settle down a little.
You didn't have to put us on the spot. Yeah, we are part of a group of streamers that we go by
Yeah.
the name Desync.
This-
So yeah, it's a fun collaboration, another sort of podcast that we put together, but unfortunately it's not doesn't have a set schedule. It's just we
Yeah.
just decide
It'll
one day.
come back.
Yeah.
It'll come back.
Yes,
Hottest
Come
gaming,
back when it wants to.
hottest gaming podcast of India by far. So yeah, so we can get into it a little bit, and then I want to just go around and just ask. This podcast is about streamers, so this will be a little bit about letting you guys know what streamers have to do when they get started. How did these guys start? What are the challenges, small or big, these guys face along their streaming journey? And one tip they can give you, which will hopefully make you into a really good streamer in this country. So let's start with you, XLR. What's up?
Mhm.
How did you get into streaming? And
I used to
overall?
play games a lot. I completed my studies, education, engineering, and then I decided to just do something that I actually love to do. So
Hmm.
streaming was the thing that I actually wanted to do during my college days, but I didn't initially give it so much thought, thinking that it won't be so good. But then I gave myself into it, and then I started streaming. So
When was
streaming
this?
from 3.5 years back.
3.5 years back, 2016, 17.
I don't even remember the year, but yeah, 3.5 years back, streaming from 3.5 years.
When did you decide this was like a more serious thing that you wanted to do or like pursue, and not just like
My
a hobby?
final engineering exam. That was the day I decided I don't want to do I don't want to do any work related to engineering anymore. Just play games and stream. That's it.
That's a sentiment. सबको लगता है eventually.
Yeah, I
That's why I
realized
think
that I'm
totally
not
different.
enjoying it a lot. I realized that I'm not enjoying a lot. There's no point in doing something that I'm not enjoying doing.
Right.
Like, at least I can give it a try. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But it shouldn't
Mm.
be a regret in my back in my head that I didn't try. So I just
Right.
give myself into it.
Right. How did you get in? You also like got in recently, right, SK, into streaming, but you were
Yeah.
always into multiplayer games for the longest time. I have heard about you from way back in 2014 or 13 from the League of Legends days. And then I eventually met you in Nvidia over the years. And then I got to know. Also seen you participate in a lot of tournaments, online tournaments. But streaming is a very new thing for you, right?
Yeah, so I started exactly 1 year ago. I just completed 1 year on YouTube. That is regular streaming, right? And then before that, I think when it comes to League of Legends and PUBG and stuff, it was more of like a resident sponsor sort of streamer. I streamed League primarily because of BenQ and Red Bull and Oblique Gaming back in the day. That was my first like pro team. So I did a bit of Twitch stint there. Then it was all like just here and there sponsored streams, not something that you want to, because as a pro player you just want to sit and focus on your game, but you had to do xyz activities and giveaways. So that's how I got into streaming very early on. So I think I had like 1,000 odd followers on Twitch playing League of Legends 2013 2012.
You were
um,
streaming in 2013.
it was 13 or 14 whenever Twitch just started. I remember I
Right.
got 1,000 followers that time very fast, because I
Right.
was like I think one of two at challengers or like top 200 players in India for League. So there's a lot of audience for that, and I used to grind like 4 5 hours every day. Then I stopped completely and got into a lot of tournaments, esports, never really bothered about streaming, and then got into Nvidia. Then the work started, but then 1 year back, I got a nudge from Raka Zone, and he said you should start. People like you. People ask you about ask about you on his stream. So he was like, why don't you just make a channel, see where it goes? So he was, I think, the guy that pretty much told me to start my own thing and get a different name or whatever. Like, because I was known as Brutality throughout esports, so I wanted
Hmm.
to rebrand and start over and see, okay, let's see where this.
Why did you rebrand?
Uh, so Brutality in India is synonymous with CS:GO. So
Right.
anytime I would use that name, it would automatically be like, "Hi,
Mhm.
CS:GO wala." That was like
Right.
the most like comments I got. CS:GO wala hai kya? And it wasn't. So yeah, I genuinely thought like, you know what? Let's not give them more marketing, even though it's brilliant. Like Sat Mayakar and Ankit Pant and all these guys, like brilliant people. But I was just like, time to rebrand, and then I stuck with SK, which is what pretty much the
Yeah.
whole everyone in the I think my work and everywhere else calls me that. So
Hmm.
that happened. So exactly 1 year on YouTube for me.
Right. So you are mostly now known as like Sexy Shashi and SK Please.
Yeah,
G-
pretty much.
Yeah.
I think the role play is what like is the foundation for my channel.
I think so too. Yeah. Your most of the videos that if you Google SK Please, it's like the highlights of GTRP streams, right?
Yep.
But talking on that topic, I wanted to discuss something that we were discussing beforehand already, which is how a lot of people think about streaming as like there's a lot of aspects of streaming that aren't basically talked about, right? We talk about how to get into streaming, how to get what hardware to get, what camera to get, what's the internet connection, what games you might want to play, but we don't talk about a lot of other things that are very core to streaming that are more subtle in nature, right? Like simple things like how do you guys like at this point, like both you and XLR have like done the grind of streaming for at least some time to comment on these things, right? So how do you guys just basically get up and set your schedule that you're gonna stream now? You had a different starting point to XLR. Like XLR, when I'm guessing when started streaming, he didn't have a large base of people watching him, right?
Yeah.
And then you slowly grew up, whereas SK had a different starting point where you had that nudge from Rakazan, so he had. But even then, I think there's a lot of things that it's not easy, right? Getting up, doing it every day, just because it's completely different playing it alone, playing a game alone, than playing it on stream, right? Do you guys want to talk about that? Aski, you can take it forward. Start.
So yeah, I mean, I feel like I definitely had a very easier initiation into streaming. Initially I didn't have a PC obviously to like support good quality and stuff, but I kind of spent on that and then I got into it. But um it's it's I'm not a regular streamer, let's put it that way. But even as someone that's so irregular, it does take a toll on you, primarily because at the end of the day, as a streamer, you want to entertain, you want to grow. And as much as even a person like me who says numbers don't uh, matter, it does. You know, I still look at these numbers, I still look at the stats, I still look at analytics, and that's what gets to you. Because some days you're like, yo, I'm sitting like 8-10 hours and playing, and then you don't see like a certain game that you love is not really kicking it off with the audience, or they don't like it. So days like that kind of demotivates you. Also the long grinds, like I have a day job as well as streaming. Thanks to lockdown, I feel like my channel grew a lot. But who knows, when everything becomes, oh, it's back to normal, I think it's going to take a big hit. Because before I didn't have the energy to even like come back home and stream, so it's only stream
Right.
2-3 times a week or something like that. But I
Mhm.
feel like, yeah, compared to anyone else, like even in desync, I think I've had probably the easiest route. Because I kind of what do you say, just abuse the trends. I did
I mean, if you can do it, you should do
yeah,
it, right?
no, I'm
Like,
saying like I
Yeah.
did. Everyone knows, it's not like I don't have to really hide it, but RP was the trend, and then I did it shamelessly. Like at one point, it was like, okay, maybe I wasn't enjoying it. It was a very toxic thing, but it was also giving you the numbers, which gives you that little boost, right? That okay, I can come back tomorrow and continue it. That's all the streaming is, right? It's numbers at the end of the day. It's like, yes, you can do what you love, but at the same time, if you're not seeing like growth, why would
Growth.
you? Why would you do it?
yeah. So
Yeah.
that progression, like it's like a game, like how if you're stuck in a game, you won't feel good playing it, but if there's progress, and
Yeah.
whichever game you're playing, you would want to see some kind of progress, right?
So I feel like that's what is one of the hardest hitting factors, is that sometimes you can't really stream what you love. You
Hmm.
really have to like
Yeah.
hit the trends and do the right things. And we've seen like people grow out of it. Like it obviously we're envy or jealous or whatever the hell, but there is like a certain way to do streaming, which
Right.
is what kind of pissed me off for the most. Because I was like, why don't I just do what I like? But that's just not what people want to watch. Like we have a very different culture, right?
Right.
Like I think XLR and me were like heavily influenced by like Western, so we play a lot of like popular games. But
Popular
again,
Mhm.
games.
that's what I hit here. I feel that's what.
Popular, that's outside, not
Yeah, that's not
necessarily in the
here.
Not
country.
Yeah. So sometimes it does take a toll. And schedule wise, dude, I mean, I'm the wrong person. Like you can literally see the difference in setup. I think for me it's extras up here, but you can see the difference in setup. You should ask him, I think, more about scheduling, because XLR over the years pretty much went from like very casual to like you can see what he's done with his
Mhm.
room and everything,
Mhm.
compared to it's
Mhm.
just my bed behind and I
I
don't
think
really put any effort.
right. I think it's fair to say that even if XLR isn't like a million subscriber YouTuber, he's definitely one of the more well-known YouTubers in the
Yeah.
scene. Like everyone who is like a YouTuber coming on becoming a YouTuber, they know you, right? And you have built a reputation for yourself, and you have a very loyal following as well, right? I think the memes on Google speak for itself. But what is your thoughts on all of this? Like, what are the challenge? How did you do all of this? Like, how did you go about
Initially,
putting it out?
initially, I used to watch my own stream on other phone. I used to get only one view initially, and then slowly it started catching up. I used to play a lot of CS:GO back then. I grinded till like SMFC in CS:GO. Like tried to play, uh, like go a little bit like pro, but not as in professional player, but as in like good content, like a streamer wise. And yeah, eventually things catched up with Fortnite, and then with EFT. So yeah, it's ongoing. But yeah, it's like initially when you don't see views, it's kind of you don't get that hope is the thing that helps you to actually stream the next day,
Mhm.
because it's like, you know, these games people are not going to watch like most of these games because they are not popular in India. uh,
Mhm.
but it's my thing that I feel like hope that someday, like, these games will start getting popular in India. And that is
Mhm.
why I keep on going and keep on streaming this kind of games again and again, even though most of those games are not were even trending. Like Fortnite was not trending in India, but it was trending outside. Like
Mhm.
there were like a lot of people watching Fortnite from outside India, but in India there weren't any. And then EFT again, like no one knew what EFT was.
Right.
My channel peaked up to like a lot of viewers, and then when I started streaming EFT, it downpicked to around like 5-10 viewers, but I still didn't give up, hoping
Mhm.
that someday people will start seeing that the game is really good. So yeah, it's
And
working.
that paid off, right? Now you have a loyal viewership of at
Yeah,
least 200,
yeah,
300 people who watch
yep,
TFT, which is
yep.
which is, I would say, even in terms of PC games, is a more complex game to not just play but also watch, right?
No, it's fun actually to watch, even though it's complex.
It's
It's fun to watch.
Mm.
intense. It's actually intense to
Right,
watch an EFT stream.
Yeah, yeah,
right,
it's
right.
intense.
But
Like
how would you say? How do you get that motivation to? Because okay, just from a perspective of someone who's tried streaming but couldn't really get into the vibe of it because it was so, how should I say this? You need a lot of motivation to sit down and
mhm,
just face the viewers, even if there are like zero viewers, one viewer, whatever. And if that
mhm,
one extra viewer comes and he says bad stream, you start feeling bad, and that shows
mhm.
on your face. It shows on
Yeah,
your
no,
body
it does
language,
definitely.
right? And doing that over and over and over and over again, over for you, it's been 3.5 years now. Like
Yep.
that must be like it's an accomplishment by itself, according to what I think.
It took a toll on a lot of things, like my mental health. It took toll on a lot of things, but uh, I got used to it. Uh, like it started becoming a way where I used to just like, I have to do this. I don't have any other thing to do. So I just started like doing it repetitively, and then it paid off kinda now.
Right. So I want to ask is what do you think is like what would you say if like people are starting to join, like if we they people are every day there's more and more people coming up who are like they want to get into streaming, right? And
Hmm.
it's not like it's these things are not generally discussed, right? The fact
Hmm.
that it takes a toll on your mental health, it's a
Yep, yep.
grind in itself. Like people only think about the hardware when they first see these things, right? And then they don't actually talk about the other things that are attached, the physical attributes or the mental attributes that are attached to these things. So what's the one tip you would probably give for all these people who want to become big, and who don't just want to start streaming but want to also do the right thing and be consistent and be big, right?
Yeah, I would say start playing games that you really enjoy, because when people see that you're really enjoying a game, they enjoy the game. Like they enjoy watching you as well, right? So if you're not enjoying the game, there's no point in like playing a game, that you don't enjoy. That is what
Mm-hmm.
I feel.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually, when people see that you're enjoying the game, they eventually catch up to you, like like your positiveness, or maybe your
Yeah,
like you're
they're like
If
enjoying.
you're
catching.
having fun, like people
Yeah,
like have
people.
more fun
They're
with you.
catching on to
Yeah,
your positivity basically
yeah,
because they see
positively. Yeah.
you
So
having a lot of fun playing a game. They also want to be like, hey, this is fun for me as well.
yep. So I would say like just keep on playing what you like and build a community around it slowly, and eventually it will get there someday.
Right.
I think mine is
Um.
exact opposite because,
No.
yeah, I pretty much think it's like you have to play the long run, especially with streaming in India. And second point is, you got to be super open-minded to try out like the top games, at least in India. Find out what the top five are, the most games that people relate to. Like that's the reason GTA, Minecraft, uh, does really well. And then
Mhm.
your other games would be like Valo and CS and stuff, because these are the games that people are playing. And I feel like at the end of the day, um, as a gamer myself, I end up every time I'm watching a stream, it's primarily because of what I'm playing at that moment.
True.
So it's more to do with if you're a new streamer, just honestly, abuse the trend.
Yeah,
Like if
jump the
RP is the trend
Yeah,
right now, just do it.
like jump the
Uh,
train, you know.
because
jump.
that's like the only way you're gonna build a solid community, because that's where all the viewership is. Then you get the viewership, and then you start showing them a pinch of what your games are. Like when I got my steering wheel, when I hopped on, it was obviously like 90% down the viewership, but eventually when you mix it around, and then people start enjoying it, and then people start saying, okay, this guy's into racing, now I get a lot more people to watch F1, or a lot more people asking. So stuff like that, I feel like you have to experiment. But honestly, if you're a very new streamer, you have to just be very open-minded and understand that there is 5 games that sell. Do it, like hit that trend, do that stuff. And I'm also learning all that stuff very like now after 1 year, right? uh and the biggest advice I think Raka has given me as well is do wards. He every time we speak, he's always like wards, 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 because that's what works here. Nobody has the time nowadays to watch 5-hour streams. I mean, yes,
Mhm.
you have your core audience that will support you through thick and thin, but then you also have like a big 40% of your channel who will come for highlights because they don't
Yeah.
have the time every day. So I feel like wards are a big thing. And um on YouTube you have to do it. I feel like I've stopped doing wards, but my when I did roleplay and then the wards came out, too, those things like popped off. Imagine as a streamer, you sit like 5 hours and you make that, and then the ward, which is five
It
minute long,
makes
gets
like double,
used.
triple of that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's. I feel like there's so many things that you can learn as a streamer once you get in, and then obviously like the other biggest point is collaborations. I'm just lucky to have friends like uxlr, Raka. Like I'm in the right place. Where it's like I've got like Exion, Raka, Robo, Void, uxlr. It's like a good support system.
Mhm.
Yep.
Um, uh,
But I wanted to pick up on this. I think this support system, even if you, yes, of course, it will help if you have
yeah,
YouTubers who are already doing it because they know what they're doing, how to guide you, and also they have the audience that they can maybe you can expose yourself to. But I think speaking of support system, any support system is good, right?
yeah,
Right. Just
very much.
having friends, a group of friends who are supporting you, encouraging you to keep doing it, and just watching you, and even discussing feedback, right? What you did wrong, what you did right, right?
Yeah,
Basic things like that. Wouldn't you say that's also as important?
dude, it's huge. Because there are so many times that people don't know this, but like our decent crew, we're just pretty much sitting on Discord discussing, even
Yeah.
to the point of career paths. Like, where
True.
do we see ourselves a couple of years from now? On the outside shell, we're all like goofy guys, who just like play video games. But honestly, like, there are some very good conversations that happened, like when Robo was, switching over to Facebook. So
Mhm,
many like questions, right? So if he would have to take that alone, that decision, it would take a toll on him. But we're
mhm,
Yep.
all here to like discuss and say, okay, where is this going, what's
mhm,
happening, and all that stuff. And then, if even when newer titles come, we all have slots at the end of the day. Like some days I won't play, some days XLR won't play. So we have games like when Phasmophobia came out, I knew that I wouldn't fit into that genre. So then it's like you don't have to look around, right? You have this group that you can be like, yo, I want to jump on this game today. And we have like a WhatsApp where we'll be like, who's playing this? A new PUBG map, let's make a fun stream. And 5 or 3 of us would be like, I'm ready. So we did GTA like the heist the other day, which took like 10 hours to do, but it was just a text, right? So when you have a support system and everyone's a streamer, I feel like it's amazing because there's never a dull moment. And even when you stop or when you're not motivated, the points that we spoke about, there's always a question saying, what are you doing? Like,
Mhm.
or they will like encourage you to like, okay, we're doing Among Us today, just come back and stream. So I'm genuinely like blessed to have like a good support system and a good group of people in streaming. And I feel like any new streamer, don't try to like jump into like groups, try and have like a decent mix. And
mhm,
because collaborations will help you at the end of the day. Like I keep
mhm,
saying, I joke about how my channel is Raka's second channel, but that's honestly like, it's a big part of it. Because he gave me the platform technically, right? So
mhm.
imagine I didn't have that support system, then I'm on that solo grind. And it's not easy, trust me. Like if you're a solo streamer and you don't have friends to play with and all that stuff, that is just
Yeah.
Yeah.
that is gonna kill you. Like not even kidding me. Like it
Can
is gonna like
confirm.
just
True.
make you stop playing. So
Agreed.
when you have a
Mhm,
bunch of friends and all enjoying, I feel like yeah, support system is huge, and if they're
Right.
streamers, it's a big bonus.
Right.
Yep.
Okay, so again, we have a different some like starting points here. Like SK, where you've come in a point where you already had a that support system existed when you came into this like whole
Yeah.
area of streaming, right? XLR, you had built that support system out. How up over time, right? I'm guessing. So how did you go on to build that, or were these people your old gaming buddies who only encouraged you, or how did that happen for you?
I started streaming, and then few people did join the stream, and then they came on Discord. We had chat conversations, and then we started playing together. Like that was a kind of motivation that I got. Like I have actually really good people in my community, and even friends like SK and everyone like Raka, Robo White, Xeon. So this it helps you a lot. Like initially, but previously, yeah, all the viewers only came up, and we used to sit and play, and then that grew into a community slowly, and then it grew up.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but Discord helped a lot, and plus, I mean, communication platform helped a lot. Creating a
Right.
community around something, communicating with them, like your viewers, playing with them, that helps a lot initially.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So yeah, one person hasn't been speaking a lot of this while, so I
Crap.
want your opinion. Yeah.
Right.
So
So
this is our Humpty Dumpty. Come on. So
yeah. So
ask,
basic.
what are your thoughts about all of this? Like you were
Right.
into streaming, then
I
you left, and then you were in the
so
more organized sector of content creation, I would say.
yeah. So the thing is, right? I would say the biggest factor that plays with that is time, right? If you are someone who has a day job, right? Like even SK also has a day job. Right? So for XLR, this is like a full time thing, right? Right, for SK and myself, we have day jobs, and I'm surprised how SK is actually managing his time with his day job and streaming, because that kind of grind is very difficult, because you can lose out on your sleep. Like you were talking about, what is the effect on the physical and the mental health of a person, right? It affects your sleep. Your whole sleep cycle gets broken, and let's be honest, 2020 has not been friendly to our sleep, our sleep cycles, right? We've all been sleeping at very odd times, waking up in the afternoon or whatever, right? So that it's gonna affect that. So that played like a huge part in the reason why I had to like slowly step down from streaming, because I was like, I just wanted like some time to chill, because there was work. I didn't get enough time, so that's why I never continued streaming. But whenever I feel bored, I sometimes do it as a hobby. It's like if I wanna, like I think recently I made a video on GTA 5, like a trailer of sorts, because I just finished watching like a Netflix series called The Sons of Anarchy, and I just finished the GTA 4 Lost in the Damn DLC. So I was like, hey, why not do something like this in GTA 5? And I had fun making that, right? Like it became like a hobby for me again. It wasn't something I did it like a job, like how these two guys are doing it, but I did it for fun, and it just made me happy. And I'm happy to see that a lot of people kind of like saw that, and it just, so I do it on and off from time to time, and I might think about coming back into like content creation full swing sometime next year, once I have like evened out my schedule, because that is one thing I'm really bad at. I'm bad at like scheduling my thing properly. For now, I have fixed my sleep cycle. I sleep like on time before midnight, wake up in the morning like 6 7
Right.
o'clock, right? Like I'm actually like, next is exercise. And then once I fix all of these bit by bit, I might come back to streaming, because initially I took a very unhealthy approach with it, and that was my mistake primarily. But once that comes up, like of course I will take the tips from XLR and SK, of course, and I'll use them, collab, stream, play the trend, stream, all that, and I'll probably jump back into it.
Right. So, like you said, like having those healthy habits and streaming, it's very important, right? Because otherwise, you can go on off to the deep end where you're probably not enjoying streaming, you're not having enough sleep, and you're probably not enjoying games as well, right?
Yeah,
And you don't want to go in that place. And I think I know a lot of streamers who have gone back and forth from that place because they stream. They somehow like their time management is a bit skewed because streaming takes a lot of time.
it
And what
does.
people don't understand is even if you're playing games, like imagine you're playing games by yourself, right? And then imagine you're playing games while 10 other people are literally watching behind you and like telling you what to do. And it's more exhausting, right?
It
Oh, like
is.
it's just mentally exhausting. You can't
Yep.
like put a a finger on it, but it takes more effort for you to do that and reply back to those people. Yes, I'm doing it properly. Can you just stop?
Yeah.
Right? And
Like the infamous
yeah,
backseat gamers, right? But you know they are the ones who are also part of a community. I mean, see,
yeah. I mean,
they're giving their
mhm,
opinions, right? Like, and you can, you know, who knows, one of them might be right, right? You never know,
yeah,
one of them might be right when you're making a choice or something like that
right.
in a game.
So no, my point is that having that healthy balance
Yeah,
between
that balance, correct? Yes.
uh, giving yourself time so that you can
Yeah.
enjoy the streaming,
True.
and
Correct.
having
Yeah.
a routine so that it doesn't have mental fatigue, I think it's very important.
Yep.
I think that's about it, though. I do wonder if you guys want to add anything more to that, like whatever we've discussed, SK or XLR.
I mean,
Uh,
honestly, just don't start for the money. I feel like a lot of
Yeah.
newer streamers are
yeah.
looking at the monetary side of it. It's it's not amazing, but at the same time, it's not fair to say that people are making more than a decent living.
Mhm,
People that we know as well, people that you guys see on a daily basis who are up in the millions or whatever. But even at the 100K, 100 plus K, people are making decent amount. But it's just that I feel like a lot of streamers right now, when even I get a bunch of messages saying I want to get into streaming, everyone's just looking at short term, get in, get out. They
Yeah.
just
right,
think
Yeah.
there's a lot of people in it for the money, and I don't
right,
blame them, but they're kind of losing track of why you do it. Uh,
right.
Yeah.
At the
Agreed.
end of the day, it's content creation, right? It's a more of a creative field.
there's so many things that you can do. Like I was just looking at the chat as well, right? One guy said English streams don't work. Uh,
Mm,
I mean, I am proof that it does work. You just have to.
mhm,
It's kind of thick skin, and there's also a process. Like he says, trust the process. That's how it is. I feel like there is just like anything you do in life. There's always like there's a path where someone's like set a good amount of examples. You just
mhm,
follow that and then you do it. Like in YouTube, honestly, if you think about it, I feel like WODs do so much better. It's just
Yeah.
that if you're
They
getting
do.
into
Yeah.
streaming, you have to make sure you have like an editor. You have to make sure you have flashy overlays. Like even my room, like sometimes I don't put my webcam primarily because dude, I don't have like a
like
gaming.
clothes in the behind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just my room. Like it's just a small room, and I just play
Yeah,
for fun. I'm just a normal dude, right? So for me, it works out. But I'm saying if you want to take it to next level, quality, like XLR grew like crazy, uh, 1440 streams. If you think about it, like if you
Yeah.
go couple of months back to XLR's EFT, 1080p, you can't even see anything in EFT. It's bad, right? But then now he's on 1440, and he's up the quality, he's up his room. We even joked about like when he got the sign and everything. We're like, who you trying to be? But it looks good. He's
yeah,
put
yeah.
in so much more. So I feel like people just get into streaming and then they're like, bro, I bought this, I bought the hardware. I'm streaming every day, but I'm not seeing growth. But there's
Yeah.
also like this whole other underlying effect. Are you brand? Are you spamming it everywhere? Like I spam my videos to family groups.
No, I
Yeah,
could
that's
never do
that's
that.
that's
It's used, right? It's
that's, it's an advice I give people, and they're like, "Why would I share it in a family group? I
why
will share it.
wouldn't
Mummy
you?
could know."
You made it. It's creative. Just do it. Like it's your creative outlet. So I feel like there's so many things. We've only touched like very minimal topics, like
Mhm,
about mental and all that stuff. There's a lot
There's a
to it.
lot more. Like take a
Yeah.
look at the production side of things, right? Like how SK mentioned, the backdrop, your quality, right? Like see, look at my backdrop. Like blurry background kind of gives a nice aesthetic to it, right? Maybe if I change the lighting, it looks even better. Look at Ancient's backdrop. He's got Night City behind him, right? That's cool, right? XLR too. Like before, he used to use the green screen. Now he's got like his
Yeah.
backdrop with his logo in the back, his PC, flashing red. It all comes down later with your quality. Yes, you start small, humble beginnings. It's just like no webcam, just gameplay with your logo, something in the corner. And as you go, as you just keep growing on and on, you will see that you're improving. Like even if you take the top streamers, right? Like you take Rakazone or Robo, for example. Look at their first streams and look at them now. There has been a significant growth, and it's like
right.
it's streaming is not just you click a button on OBS and you start streaming,
Yeah.
right? There's a lot
Mhm.
of investment, commitment, time,
And
all
it's
of
a
that.
skill.
It's a
And it's a skill.
it's a skill, yeah. It's
Got
like
it with your personality as well. Like I get more people just watching me talk rather than play games. I've kind of
Right.
it hurts sometimes because you're like primarily there to stream games, but it's kind of chill. It's a nice outlet where if you find your calling in YouTube, dude, it is so much
Yeah.
fun to do. Like when
So
I just
much.
sit and do like masala streams or just like talking streams, it's so much fun because it's like, people are very responsive, and there's once you start that back and forth, and then you have this huge community backing, it's amazing to do. Like you're looking
Agreed.
forward to the
Right.
next day. So if you can find your calling, to it is such an you know amazing opportunity, and
Mhm,
especially like in this day and age,
mhm,
people there are lot of brands and a lot of stuff
mhm.
that you can monetize, and you can do a lot of stuff with your channel.
Yep.
um
Speaking of community,
mhm,
we have community QA session, but just before we do that,
yeah.
I want to ask the same question to XLR. Anything in last to say, like anything to add on to whatever we've been discussing to before we go on to the community Q&A?
I would say for new streamers, like communicate a lot with people who come in your chat, because that helps a lot. Even if there's a one guy who's watching your stream, if you communicate with him and he tells it to his friend, it starts growing and starts multiplying very quickly. So
Mhm,
the most important thing I would say is like communicate with people in the chat, be friendly with them, talk with them,
mhm.
ask them about few things here and there. Have a webcam initially, I would say, because it gives more interaction between the viewer and streamer. So yeah,
Yeah,
I would suggest new streamers,
You can
you know,
you also kind of
being inter-
establish your like your face as a brand. It's like they see you, they know it's XLR, like wherever you go,
yeah,
right?
true.
Like that gives that brand value as well.
No, but I
mhm.
think that faceless YouTube thing also is very, like, I mean, we've seen it blow up this year, and we
Right.
have an
Yeah.
example of Exion as well. He did show his face on Instagram, but I'm saying like it's completely fine if you're someone that
Mhm.
you know you're not really comfortable with it.
Yeah, but Axion is good with communicating with people, and he
Yeah,
has that personality,
yep,
where people usually like
very
Axion.
relatable.
Yeah, very relatable personality.
Yeah, I mean, no matter
So
how fast the chat is, I've always noticed he does read each and every message out there, giving that
yeah,
interaction level to his like to the chat out there.
yep.
Right. Right. All right. I think that's about it. Now we can go into the QA session for the community. We have like 10 minutes. I think Rats, right? So we can just take some questions from the community and see what they have to say. Um, but yeah, the chat itself is moving
Yeah,
super rapidly.
it is. But
And
someone
everyone's a fan of desync. I think they definitely want it back. So we should
desync
think
when.
about doing the next episode soon.
Right. So we did have a question earlier, right?
Sure.
When we were talking about like our stream journey. So Gaurav Solanki asks, how was the community building for PC streamers in India?
Like overall, just for us, and
I,
just
I
like
I think maybe we can talk about like how it was for you guys. You know how the community building was.
I mean, initially it was very slow. Initially, I think still the PC community is not that big, but yeah, it's growing up day by day. But
Mhm.
it was like, initially there were like only few people you used to play with, and started
Right.
growing.
I feel
But
like games like Minecraft, Valo, GTA kind of opened up the community to like much bigger
yeah,
size.
true,
Because
true.
I mean, primarily, if you think about our countries run on mobile, and
Mobile.
we've seen this the card like it's just insane. Like
Mhm.
Yep.
Scout's a good friend, so I've seen that guy's like stats or like just it's just like that. It's like a peak almost.
Yeah.
And he's still climbing. So I feel like, for PC streamers, yes, it's a little more difficult, but I wouldn't say it's like an impossible task.
Impossible.
It's
Yeah.
just that you have to persevere more than someone
And I
who's
think
I
one
think
very important thing is the I think something that everyone knows is that mobile and geo and overall the accessibility is much more than PCs, right?
yep,
At the end
Yep.
of
Much
the day,
more, yeah.
people, a lot of these people who are watching PUBG mobile
yeah,
streams or mobile games,
playing
they
it.
can actually play it, so they understand, so they can watch and understand it better. Someone who hasn't played something like Battlefield or Five or whatever will have a harder time understanding it. But I do see these guys coming over to PC eventually. But
Eventually,
yeah,
yes. No, I mean, like honestly, the mobile guys have kind of been a forefront during the pandemic. They've kind of what do you say, given their audience a lot of PC titles to look at,
right,
Yeah.
and they've
right.
given us a big boost. So I feel like yes, everyone's contributing to it, but I feel like
Uh-huh.
this year and the next year is going to be the biggest. in terms of like overall PC community, and
Yeah.
people are buying PCs left, right, and center. I mean,
Right.
I work for Nvidia, and I work for like a very chill space, and you're kind of blessed to have the job as well, because I feel like if I was in any other 9 to 5 corporate, I wouldn't have been able to. Right? It's just like I'm in the ecosystem, and it's so much chill, and it's like you have the right people you're working with, and then so it's less stress at job, and then streaming, it gives you the time, and then my family is super chill. It's all like it all works out, and I feel like, like PC wise, everyone's picking up, dude. Laptops was so huge this year, because of the pandemic. And what
COVID.
are
Yeah.
people doing, right?
Yeah.
People are buying GPU based laptops. There's no way in hell that you're telling me that these guys are just gonna study or code on it. Yeah,
No way.
Study.
That's the
Purpose
excuse,
is
bro.
We
That's the
all gave that
reason.
excuse. We all gave that
That's
excuse
the
at
first
one point.
reason. Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
I need
amazing.
I need a 2 lakh PC to study, mom.
It's huge. Like I can see how many new gamers have got introduced. We were discussing before the podcast of how even like friends of mine who are console players, or they've kind of introduced themselves into PC now,
Yeah.
or
Right.
there are newer people that are coming in. A lot of girls are getting into gaming as well. That's
Oh
like
yeah.
nobody talks about that. It's huge. Like the amount of women that have got into gaming, and like I've met through this gaming journey is much high compared to maybe 2 3 years ago, where it was like non-existent, right?
True.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of things working for the PC community, and I feel like we're just at like the beginning now. And
Yeah.
Mhm.
whoever's planning to get into streaming or
Yeah,
skeptical
I
about
think this is a
the PC
good time.
community, it's the greatest time, because you know how early adopters are like the best, or
Mhm.
you will be the early adopter,
Mhm.
because all of these guys like Raka and everyone have done this long grind. But if you start now, you are already there, and you can take all the learnings and just
And
take off.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Mhm. We can go for another question.
All right.
3 4
So
more, I
three,
guess.
four more. All right. Fine. Fine. So, Omkar Jori asks, which is a trending game on your point of view this year?
I would say right now. This year there were so many.
Yeah, but
Right.
Minecraft. I
which is
think
the trend? Which
Minecraft
is the
is
trend?
Right
trending.
now.
Trending, yeah,
Yeah, it's
Minecraft.
trending like crazy.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I'll say
Minecraft is
GTA.
trending like crazy.
GTA will forever trend
Yeah,
over the world.
GTA,
GTA will trend.
GTA
Yeah.
and Minecraft.
Yeah.
I see
Like
a lot of
especially
Valorant. I've seen a lot of Valorant doing really well in India, actually. Valorant being
Mhm.
also a very popular game that came out, which was another question also asked by Abhishek Chand. Like, is Valorant going to be the next big game in India? And I think that it is possible that,
yeah.
because I've seen a lot of the Indian professional players who played CSGO switch to Valorant, and they're,
Valorant.
And gained lots more numbers and
exactly,
viewers.
yeah. All the
Yeah,
pro,
sure.
all the pro players who are streamers as well, like Hyvan, Sai Gaming, SK Rossi, Right to Waste. All of them are pulling in hundreds, 200, 300 viewers, because they want to show they are the best of the best, right?
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
they showcase their skill. I mean, even Robo and Void, who are currently on Facebook, they also pull in like 100, 200 people on that platform as well. It's like it shows that Valorant is. I think it might be like the next CS:GO in India. I mean, but it's kind of
I mean, it's already bigger than CS:GO in India in a lot of ways, especially in
in,
terms
yeah.
of user base, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
Right.
is.
agreed.
It is
Um,
already
yeah.
big. No,
And
but
in terms
I
of
feel
viewership as well.
yeah, I feel like don't wait for what's trending. That shouldn't even be your question. You should already know, because when you wait or you ask the question like what is trending, you've already left behind.
Right.
Yeah,
Um, like imagine all these guys, like you could have been that person in chat who started streaming, and you were. And I feel like there are two ways. This is one thing we don't talk about in streaming. Honestly, there's two big ways to get into streaming. All right, it's like one, you grind like crazy, you try hard, and you be the best in that particular game to the point that you have people to like worship you, and then you have like all this content they will take. And then the other is your entertainment, and we've seen this clear paths, right? There's nothing in the middle. I'll be very honest with you guys. There's nothing in the middle. Either it's like full try hard or full
Mhm.
entertainment,
Yeah.
and that's that rare combination somewhere that there's a mix of both. Like Sai, for example, he's hilarious. Like
I mean,
it's like
I would put I would honestly put SK in that category. It's like the fine line of entertainment, but also really good gameplay.
no, but that's the thing, right?
I
So
think that happens automatically. The tryhard mode.
Yeah.
no, but
It
I'm
goes
telling
into
you, like
entertainment, but like no, I have to
there's
win.
only two big ways, because I've consumed so much Valorant content in 2020 that I can tell you that I've seen these guys who are insanely pros, and then they have guides that blow up, And then I've seen these entertainment, like T-Bone, for example. I don't go to watch T-Bone's gameplay. I'll be very honest with you. I go to see his reaction. Right?
Yeah, his reactions are solid.
Yep.
And sometimes he pops off, and then that's when both of them marry, and then he's like having a good time as well as try harding. So
Right.
there's only honestly, two parts to it.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Next question is only XLR will answer.
all right.
He's not talking. He's avoiding it.
All right. So I believe someone did ask a question. Yeah, two people asked the same question. So Kabir and Abhishek again have asked. So I'll just paraphrase it very simple. Like, should a streamer, like when they start off streaming, should they stream the games that trend, or should they just play what they want from the very start? Like, should they try a single
think-
game or a multiple game?
I think SK already
Yeah,
answered that.
he did answer
They
that
should
before.
have a mixture of it. Like, trending games. They should start with playing some trending games, and at the end of the stream, maybe try playing the games that they love, and maybe the viewers from the trending games might like start watching those games that you love to play, and then slowly increase it. Like it gets up. That's
But generally, I think we can all agree on the consensus that trending games is the way to grow,
Yep.
right?
It is the
Yeah.
way
That's
to
how
go,
you
yeah,
get newer people into your
what they're into.
subscriber.
Yeah.
And
Correct.
neither me or XLR are doing that. Just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, both of us are not doing it, but for new streamers, yeah, definitely they can do it.
Jump the trend, guys. Jump the trend.
Yeah, jump the trending, or at least have something unique in your streams that other streamers don't have.
Yeah,
and
that's like
USP.
original content. USP is
original,
what you would say
yeah.
in the corporate world.
Yep.
Unique.
Yeah.
What is
Unique selling
something
point.
unique that your
Unique
channel
selling
has.
point, right?
Yeah, unique selling point.
Right. All right. So we'll go for two more questions. So one question did catch my eye. Two people have asked these questions. I think this already been answered. The who or what inspired you to start streaming? So SK did mention that Raka gave him that nudge to start streaming, but Exla, what was?
We don't know for Exla. Yeah,
Yeah,
good
Exla.
question from as well.
So Exla, what or who inspired you to start streaming?
I actually used to watch Summit a lot back
Oh,
then,
nice.
and then randomly I asked a question like this and that on the chat, and then he actually read it, and then it was like I was like oh, he did read my message, so I got acknowledged in a way that okay, streamer is reading messages. So I was like, oh, what is this? And so I started like researching a lot, and then I got inspired. Actually, I got inspired from Summit only, and then I started streaming. So that's the whole thing.
Right.
Right. Okay. So there is a question again asked by Gaurav Solanki. Like, so this question is more. I don't know. I don't want to call. Okay. So basically, in India, can a community-driven stream happen? For example, Forsen. Like, if for those of you who don't know who Forsen is in the chat, Forsen is a very popular Twitch streamer. Forsen has a very heavy community-driven channel where being a part of the community is more fun than following a streamer. So can that happen in India?
I think so. I mean,
I think it's possible.
Yeah,
I think it's
okay. Let's just put it this way: Samay Rana, completely community driven, right?
Yeah.
He's a
Yeah.
stand-up comedian, switched to chess streams and whatever. That's it's community pushed him.
Yeah, it's
It's not
community.
like
Yeah.
I feel like that's like the best example I can give right now. He's not from a gaming background or anything like that. He just said, you know what, I'm gonna explore this, and his streams were literally just stand-up community supporting him throughout, and then he discovered new community, and it's completely community driven.
Mhm.
So yeah, it is possible if you have that personality.
I mean, I completely think I agree with you because like something I tell a lot of people is gaming in India is still far behind the other Western world, right? Western and Eastern world, right?
Yeah.
If you have to put it in perspective, we are in 2005 in America, right? 15 years back, and
Yeah.
gaming is slowly becoming big. So I think, and streaming also, like streaming just popped off in the last 2 years, right? People who had millions up, who has millions subs today, like gamers, 2 years ago they did not, right?
Yeah.
And they came out of nowhere. We saw that entire wave. People who were working in gaming saw that entire wave of mobile streamers just suddenly becoming big in a span of the next 3 to 6 months. Some of them are our friends itself. That generally that's the thing, right? Yeah.
Yep, that is. I agree.
Yeah.
Are we taking any more questions?
We do have a lot of questions. See, a lot of people are asking questions. So I think this question is better directed to SK, right? So
Right.
Amish asks, right? It's Amish and Falcon both. How do you be consistent while streaming while you have like a day job, right? Like so, SK, like you stream. Oh no.
I
Okay.
mean, I mean, I was, I was
You used to.
consistent,
Used to, yeah.
but I feel like I've said this on my stream a lot. I just have like a weird sleep thing that I only need like 5 hours of sleep, so that kind of works in my favor, and I have no like side effects of it.
Like Hajmi.
Yeah, I don't know. I can just sleep 4 hours and I'm good. Like I'm like today I slept at 6 in the morning, and no, I slept at 5 in the morning and I woke up at 9 for an office call. So and I'm
Yeah,
complete. Like you can look at me.
yeah.
There's no dark
You're
circle or whatever,
fresh.
which is normal. So my body functions in a very weird way.
Yeah.
So that's helped me. But honestly, it's not easy because somewhere between streaming and job, there's a huge thing called family, which you
Mhm.
just cannot
Yeah.
like ignore.
Like
It just so happens
family
that
and
I
yourself
stay
too.
with my parents, so I'm completely like, and my dad and mom they come on stream and like we chill whatever. So it's for me it works out. But it is taken a lot of times I've thought, and I'm not consistent primarily because of this job and thing.
Right.
If you can manage time, then yeah, and I you have to be very too much discipline goes into that. I'll tell
Yeah,
you.
that I
It's
will
big
agree.
impact.
Like,
Like
That's
because
even
what
you.
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
what happens at stream, right? You'll tell yourself, hey, I'm gonna sleep, I'm gonna end at 12. And let me just put it this way: some situation happens, and then everyone's in chat saying no, no, no. And you can't just be like heartless and just
By
say
Yeah,
yeah.
no,
exactly. You
right? So
can't
that's
like.
bad. And then you'll say, okay, 15 more minutes, let's finish this situation or whatever. Okay.
That 15 turns into 30 minutes and it goes to 1
3 a.m.
hour.
in the morning, you're like,
Yeah.
oh shit, it's
I've
time
been
to
there,
sleep,
done that.
guys. So you gotta be. There's a lot of discipline that goes into it. I have not
Yeah.
been able to
Like,
crack it.
see, to add on to SK's point, right? I have also tried like, various back when I used to stream different timings. I've tried like the peak timings 9 to 12, the 11 to 2. I've also tried early morning and I found that to be like a really good result, right?
Yeah.
But one of the main things, like in order to in order to juggle the day job and your like day job and streaming, is fix your healthy habits. That's what I'm doing right now. So if you get like the proper, see, I cannot escape. I can't sleep for 5 hours. I need the minimum 7 8 hours, or I'm not gonna have a good day, right? So I'm good, like proper healthy sleep, healthy food diet, everything like proper. Then when you get that, it's discipline at the end of the day, as SK mentioned. But once you set up all these healthy habits, the rest should come easy as long as you put your focus into it.
Right. I think we're nearing the end, so we'll take one last question and then we'll wrap it off.
All right, so this is actually a good question, and I think so. Again, this question is from Amish, right? How do you guys handle hate when you are streaming? Like you're streaming and you see like a negative comment. How do you guys take that into? There's definitely
I can suggest SK's method. Let
Oh
your
man,
viewers go after the haters.
dude, there's a few things. I think XLR go first, and then I'll answer. My method.
Yeah, this is a nice last question.
I just have learned to ignore them, bro. You get a lot of haters. Like people just randomly come in your chat and just swear at you for no reason.
Yeah.
You
Is it-
just like say something and like why? What's the point? But yeah, I just have like ignored it. In my brain, it just switched off in my brain. Primarily, I used to get very like then I used to be very. I had anxiety like before I started my stream. My heartbeats used to go a lot. My palms used to get sweaty. But eventually, I learned that no point in like looking at what people. Those people are not gonna stay with you.
Hmm.
The people who come
Yeah.
give you hate comments are never gonna stay with you. The
Mhm.
people who are there for you or your positivity, they are gonna always stay with you. I learned that, and then I ignore those people.
I think
There's
I
no
think going by what you said, I think it's also as an entertainer, you owe it to your streamers to not let yourself become
Yeah,
negative and be
yeah,
positive, so that
yep.
you're also sharing that vibe. Because a lot of people, I mean, I see SK disagreeing already. He's like, nah, man.
I'm
But
such a troll. That's the problem. No,
I mean, there are lots of trolls. I think in the internet generally, there's a lot of people who love sharing hate anonymously because there's no consequence
Yeah, like they
when they're sharing hate,
see, they
right? There's
believe
no
there is no
accountability.
consequence.
Yeah, there's no accountability to the hate they're sharing. They don't know people. Sometimes random people will come to your stream, say stuff, and then go back. It can be very demotivating, but I think, yeah, XLR's Buddhist Zen way of approach is very nice. Yeah.
Yeah, and the other way is like pretty much.
What's
Roast
your
them,
best
burn
case?
There's
them.
a couple of things I do. One is like, sometimes it's so stupid, like why you even pay attention. Like imagine there's like 40 nice comments saying, "Hey, I love your gameplay, you're amazing," blah blah blah. And then you see this one. I don't know why it always like I picked that one comment. Even my viewers know this. They're like, "Why did you read that?" There was 10 other comments around it, which was literally saying nice things about you, and then you read that one particular thing. So that's one way which I just go off because like there's no point if I think about it, like if I don't react to it, for me I feel like it'll add on somewhere, and then I'll think about it maybe in some free time, and I'll be like, oh, let it get to me. So instantly I just give it back. The second is just let your community attack them. I don't think it's like the right way, but
I don't think
I
attack
just
is the
I
right.
just
Thank you.
I
That's totally not the right way. Okay, we
mean,
need
let
a
the
more
community
diplomatic
know.
word
let's
here.
let's put it this way. I went to the extreme where I removed every mod from my channel because there were people deleting hate like comments, and I was like, no. I was like, the viewers, the 99% of the good people, you know what? This is your turn. Go for it. Eat this man alive. Like, and
I've
then
seen
they do their
it.
thing.
I've seen it
And
live. Yeah.
yeah, I think now it's like it doesn't. Dude, I'm a troll myself, so you'll find me being that troll.
Right.
I mean, I'm not a hate commenter, but I'm a pretty big troll. So I think I've
I
learned to deal with it better now. But my early stages, dude, I would just like even now, certain days it'll piss me off to the point where I will just end stream. That those are days where I just don't like to be like whatever. I don't want to respond, so I will just be like, okay, guys, I'm tired. I'll end. I'll abruptly end. I'm known for that stuff because they'll be like these. These are when they come in groups. That's when I'm like, okay, I accept defeat. Because when you're playing a game like Rust and you have a lower count of viewers, so you don't have enough attack mechanism as well in chat.
Defense mechanism.
I'm just
Diplomatic
like, oh,
defense.
sorry, defense. Yeah, defense
Defense
mechanism. So I'm just like, you know what, you guys win. Like, I'm done. But
Yeah.
yeah, it does get to you, man. Anyone that says, any streamer that says, "Oh, it doesn't like affect me," dude, you're lying.
You're
Because
lying. Yeah. This
Or they're like a
they're
Buddhist monk.
lying.
dude, I'm telling you, a guy like me who's so extreme about it, still once, like, I remember there was something with Raka, and then there was a lot of hate, and dude, I flipped. Like, it got to me. I was just like, I didn't stream for a
Yeah.
week because I had to let it die down. It's like, imagine I fought Raka of all the people, right? Like, don't bite the hand that feeds you. And then 1 week I just like let it die down and came back. So it does get to you. Just don't let it. Like, XLR has had, I don't know if he's comfortable speaking about it, but he's had like episodes where he's like, nah, this is done now. Like, I'm
I
done
think
with
it's human tendency itself, right?
Yeah.
We can't take a lot of hate. I think the best suggestion anyone can give is, figure out your method of dealing with it.
Yeah.
Like, and more importantly, don't let it get to you at that level where it's affecting you throughout the day.
And
I
don't
think
let it
that's very
build.
important.
Don't let it
Yeah.
build, because if you let it build is when you actually like
You
pop.
lose it.
Because,
Yeah. So,
um,
like that used
if
to be
you
my case
deal with
too.
it instantly, I've learned that, I don't know, my dad's pretty much like that, where he's like, deal with it instant. Any problem, instant. No, like, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it later.
Mhm.
So I feel like I've kind of built like that, where even tasks given instantly, I'll get done. So just deal with the hate. Don't
Mhm.
don't bother.
And
And
then having that support system also helps. Having friends who are like, nah.
Yeah,
you know?
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's about it for the day.
Yeah. Oh wait, I just want to
Thank you,
add one.
guys.
I just want to add one
Yeah.
point with like how to handle hate. So one thing that I used to do back when I used to stream was kill them with kindness. Like it used to affect me as well, like the hate comments and all
Selena
that.
Gomez song in the background.
No, but seriously though, because see, when you have like a bad day at work or just a bad day in general, right? Those hate comments can just flare it up even more, and you just won't feel like streaming, and that can just stop you. And you just lose all interest, right? But one thing you can do is, right, you can always ask them like, why you can just always ask them like, hey, why you raging out at me? Did you have a bad day? Want to talk about it, right? And then they start interacting with you like that. It's a way. It's like a long way, because you're focusing on that one member in chat, and then there is like a consequence. There is like a con to that as well. But I've seen like with when I used to stream, that used to work. And then it's also what XLR said too. You just gotta like ignore it, like don't let it get over your head, and then you're smooth sailing.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's about it for the day. We had an amazingly nice podcast. Thank you, Axela. Thank you, Escape, please, for
Thank you so
joining
much.
for the podcast.
Thanks
I'm
for having
hoping we
us.
get to see
Yeah.
Desync very soon, like the next episode. Like, yeah. Thanks, Rats, for also joining us and have giving us your inputs about
Hell
your
yeah.
streaming experience and whatnot.
I mean, I'll make the
And-
comeback. I'll make the comebacks.
Yeah. I mean, you stream right now still sometimes in Twitch and
It's
Facebook.
it's a hobby thing. See, it's like Twitch, Facebook. It's like two platforms. I know YouTube is like the big platform where if you want to like grow as a channel, but this I'm just doing it as a hobby thing. But eventually, I'll figure something out.
So
but
you
I
can
think
follow everyone. Yeah.
that thing as well, right? What Rats is saying, bro. Our audience is probably the most ruthless audience like across the world because
Yeah.
you don't stream for 1 week, they forget you. Okay, it's like
Yes.
so
Yeah.
that consistency thing is nuts. Like I feel like Indian audience are very ruthless
Like
because you don't show up. They're like, I subscribe to you. Where the hell is my content?
yeah,
And
exactly.
it's fair. It's completely fair. But yeah, I feel like don't swap around.
It's like apart from the numbers, right? Like when you're growing, it's not just about number growth. It's also about staying relevant, right?
Yeah, it's also a very Indian thing. Like they'll
Yeah.
support you like insane, but if you mess with them, they're like, I don't know who this guy is.
Where are my pitchforks?
I remember I lost a bunch of subs when I took a 1 month break very recently. Dude, I lost like 400 subs. I was like, shit, this is
Yeah.
bad. I was like, I need to come back soon.
You got to keep
Switch
filling them
games,
up
you
with
lose
content.
subs.
Yeah, it's crazy how you lose subs. I mean,
Yeah.
generally you lose, but when you take a break, people are like, imagine he's actively coming to your channel just to be like, this dude ain't giving me content for a month. So guys, if you're taking a break, don't announce. Just chup chop, sleep.
Slide out.
Just have your edit. You just have your editor just upload. Just give him access to your channel. Let him just keep uploading VODs every day. If they ask where is stream, it's like just be like, oh, PC's kind of out, bro.
You can take my strategy. You can take my strategy. Just record yourself sipping tea for 2 minutes and then make it into like 20 videos of 10 seconds each and then upload.
That actually,
it.
Need to abuse 10-minute algorithm though. YouTube.
yeah, the YouTube you gotta abuse the 10-minute algorithm. True.
But yeah, that's it I think for the day. Follow XLR, Nikhil SK and Rats on Instagram. For subscribe to the GamerConnect YouTube channel. If you like this podcast, please share it.
Yep.
And Rats, you can take it away.
Also, yeah, guys, for those of you tuning in chat, stick around because we're gonna be doing a quick giveaway drop right after this. But to all those who tune in here, first off, thanks SK and Exla for tuning in, and thanks Aman for being here. Being the support system that I got. Hell yeah! Since we were talking about that, right? So thank you everyone for tuning in. Again, shout out to our partners: Nvidia, GeForce India, display partner Samsung, gaming storage partner WD Black, GPU partner Colorful, peripheral partner Coolmaster India, game retail partner Games the Shop, and e-racing partner IR Esports. That was a lot, right? Thank you so much, guys. This was the GamerConnect 2020 finale, the Streamers podcast. We hope you had a good one, right? Make sure you guys stick around and chat. Giveaway drop is coming in a bit. Stay safe, stay awesome, and as always, catch you guys later. See you.